Revival House Network.
And don't like the brags, I don't like the boast. They like hot butter on the breakfast toast. Watching flicks, talking chicks, I like to motorboat. Can Riverman make it, yo, a check? Nope. So look at all these movies I got. Commenting like, should we watch them or not? And I know they just be acting for cash, but I still got one question to ask. Like, why'd he do that, do that, do that? If that was me, I'd be like, screw that, screw that, screw that. I'm an alpha, I'd eat through that, through that, through that. So why'd he do that, do that, do that?
What's up, everybody? Revival House Network, BTM Podcast. Zach, what's up?
What's up?
This is Aaron, and before we continue forth on our December exploitation, just want to remind everybody that if you could so much just like the video, if you're watching the video and you dig us, like the video, subscribe to us and all that good shit. And yeah, I don't know. Apparently that's important. So
fuck that like button with your mouse clicker.
Do it.
Fuck the shit out of it. Make it bleed and beg for more.
And also fuck the Patreon because we're on there too. So if you want to fucking penetrate that too.
Fuck the Patreon.
And at the end of the show, we'll talk about all the shit we have going on over there. But anyway, Zach, explain to everybody what we're doing this week for December exploitation.
We're doing a magical little piece of autism we discovered recently called Santa's Sleigh, starring the great Bill Goldberg. Everybody knows him as Goldberg. What'd you think of Goldberg growing up?
I don't know why I compared him to Stone Cold, because he kind of was, to me, the WCW version of Stone Cold. Like he was the guy.
He was. I never gave a fuck about him.
He was the WCW equivalent to their guy. You know, they were both bald, goatees. Of course, he was bigger, but yeah.
Stone Cold's more entertaining.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, Goldberg kind of did lack a personality, didn't he? He didn't have a character.
Yeah, fucking McMahon had like a big thing with like these bald muscle guys. He always tried to put like, what's the Ryback guy he tries to push, or he did for a while. I don't watch that much now, but fucking, someday when Vince McMahon dies, we're gonna get a pretty dank tell-all documentary about that fucking schmuck.
But isn't that funny though? Like Goldberg didn't have a character.
He didn't.
He was just a basic. He was just big.
He was just a hulking retard. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Bill Goldberg. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I don't know if this movie's available easily and readily for anybody out there, but if you can find it, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're at 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, the intro of this movie is probably the best scene in the movie. And, so like, this intro scene especially has got a who's who of great talent. This is, we'll get to, we're seeing the Media 8 thing. It just faded out. And now we're hearing the classic Joy of the World song. But they did that thing where they changed it from the Lord is come to the Lord has come. Cause like at some point they realized saying the Lord is come is fucking stupid. And like, what if that's like, all along it's a metaphor? Like Jesus was always just a metaphor for coming, because when you come, it's like you're resurrected. Like you outstretch your arms like Christ.
Chris Kattan.
This is
Fran Drescher, Marcia Gay Harden. No, that's not Marcia Gay Harden. That's Rebecca Gay Hart. She's the one that ran over the kid. Remember I was telling you about that?
Exactly. But Fran Drescher, I would love
to titty fucker,
to shoot my fucking ranch dressing all over Fran Drescher.
And I want sun cookies. And it's got James Caan.
Hell yeah.
What?
Fucking amazing film. This starts our Chris Kattan exploitation.
I had no idea there was. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody at this dinner table is a washed up hack now, but I can't believe there's anybody that is notable for anything in this movie. I always thought it was just a bin movie, like, some C grade fucking just
well, they blew all their nut right here at the beginning because they all die soon.
See, I always figured it was like a Charles Band type fucking cheap movie, like a Ginger Dead Man, like that low level.
This is great though. Look, he's putting the moves on the mom. I'd love to be Chris Kattan, like in real life, but in this movie especially.
Oh my God, he just fucking fingered her pussy.
Exactly. He's gonna titty fuck her lasagna later tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing. But this movie's donk so far.
I know those two from somewhere as well, those two chicks, but I can't recall where. Maybe something relevant back when this movie came out and they're no longer relevant?
My fucking casting couch. I was the guy casting this movie. I recognize him from that.
You know, Mac always posts those memes and shit like that. Like, and I think he always like posts those casting couch memes. Like, hey, I'm at a job interview. Wish me luck. And it'll like be a picture of a couch.
Those boomer memes, yeah.
Yeah. So I had no idea. So this might have is there any kind of budget to this?
Fucking, I don't know.
Goldberg with that get up looks like a roided out Paul Giamatti.
Oh, yes. So fucking, we got a Pomeranian in there. He just kicked it, and it got fucking caught in the ceiling fan. Amazing.
Dude, I already like this better than Santa with Muscles.
It's a better movie than Santa with Muscles, but that's not saying much, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched this before we started. Like for most of it, it's like, yeah, this is fine. There's some fun gags in this. And then, but like at the end of it, it's like, I'll probably never watch this again. But then I had to watch it again because we're doing a commentary.
But at least a movie like this is smart enough to only be like 80 minutes long.
Exactly. Brett Ratner had something to do with this movie.
Really?
You think he was fucking behind the scenes or whatever he was doing? Is he one of those guys?
He liked or retweeted our Rush Hour 2 commentary. God bless him.
Fucking Brett Ratner. You fucking Play-Doh file.
Dude, Brett Ratner was not a he was just known as being like a womanizer, like, you know, sexual harassment.
Oh.
You're thinking
I take it back, Brett.
Bryan Singer. You're thinking Bryan Singer.
Brett.
The other X-Men guy.
You sound a lot like Bryan Singer. You got the same name. You can understand my fucking my fuck up there.
Brett Ratner got Me Too'd because he was just kind of an asshole and kind of a womanizer. So it's funny that we were talking about casting couch stuff.
Look at this font. Look at this fucking title screen. Amazing. I could do better.
Yeah, it's pretty weak. Isn't that funny though? You think they would have? You know, it's an alright transition though. Look onto that. What is that, like a rug? Oh no.
So this movie, the plot is that fucking Santa is actually a demon. And like an angel basically challenged him like one night, thousands of years ago or something. An angel meets up with him, challenges him to like a little fucking bet. And like, oh, if you win, if I lose, you get to take me to hell with you. If I win, you know, you got to spread joy instead of, you know, fucking agony. For the next 1,000 years. He didn't know he was an angel, so he tricked him, and like, of course, the angel wins, and so like, yeah, now he's got to fucking do all this shit, but like the bet's coming to an end because the 1,000 years are over, and that's the plot of the movie.
Yeah, on paper, it's a fun enough B-movie premise, you know, but you're saying it doesn't quite deliver.
It's just it just fucking it becomes like you know, by numbers, very it overstays its welcome a bit. I thought.
But I have to admit, though, I mean, even now, even up to this point, which I know we're just on the credits, it's already a bigger. I don't know. It's there's more care in it than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a piece of shit Charles Band, like fucking Evil Bong,
exactly.
type movie.
You see his new one, the fucking.
His son died.
The what?
Charles Band's son died. What now? R.I.P.
I didn't know that, but he's got a new one coming out. Fucking the new fucking Evil Bong spinoff.
It's like another Versus movie, isn't it?
It's like it was like the opposite of clever. Like somebody tries to come up with a funny play on words, and they like, oh, that's funny. It's like I remember seeing the poster and seeing the title and be like, is there an opposite of clever? And then like you posted like, oh yeah, there is. It's stupid. But that like we need a more profound like opposite of clever. That's just like. Fucking really just spells out like you tried really hard to make a really clever thing happen and you failed miserably.
Yeah, I don't really recall what it was though.
Was it like the Ginger Weed Man or something stupid like that?
Oh yeah, like that. It's a hybrid of the two, Ginger Weed Man. Yeah, like there's a.
It was fucking garbage.
But I mean, that's just kind of his MO these days. And no, he announced yesterday on social media that his son passed away. I guess he succumbed to addiction.
That sucks.
Yeah. And then I saw. You know, Friends You May Know, and it was Richard Band, and but at first look, he didn't look like Richard Band. He looked like I can't remember some like Matthew Broad. He looked like somebody else. Like, who the fuck is this? But
Broad Dick, that broad shoulder beast. I would fuck Matthew Broderick. I'd let him fucking just pound my asshole into submission.
Hey, I know that guy. He was on Frasier.
Frasier. Never watched that show. That was a boomer show.
Well, that guy, I'm pretty sure that guy's like an Emmy winner. Oh, maybe not, but no, he was on Frasier. But yeah, like I said, there's actual people on here that I could pinpoint from all kinds of places. That's giving it way more than I would have given it credit for.
Mm-hmm. I brought up the fucking list of trivia. I didn't fucking get a chance to read through it before. So usually I like to read through it before and like gauge which ones are actually interesting, which ones are stupid. You're just going to get them all throughout the commentary.
That's fine. That's fine.
Exactly. The body count is 41.
That's a lot.
It is. But yeah, this is the first, this old hag right here who was, she's definitely on the naughty list. See, fucking saying he's got a wild boar leading his sleigh, not the classic, reindeers. He's got one boar.
That's fucking heavy metal.
Yeah, it is. But nobody fucking slaughters it at the end like fucking, what's that? Fuck Apocalypse Now. Movie makes you wait 3 hours to see the best scene in the movie. I'm just joking. That's not the best scene in the movie. Fucking, that was mean to slaughter that boar. I don't know why they did that. For art, I guess.
You know, if it's already getting into it this fast, though, I mean, I gotta give it more props. I mean, there you go.
Did you hear what Goldberg said right there? He said, "Move, bitch. Get out the way." That's funny.
Did he really?
He did. That was a reference for all
ludicrous.
Exactly. People might not know that now, but that was a really popular rap song in the early fucking 2000s. The early 2000s, what a great time. Fucking, we're still young, still fucking, 9/11, it came and went and fucking changed the world forever. We were still just we didn't know how much it was going to change. It was going to turn us into fucking savages.
Well,
what are savages in this town?
Here's a hot take. Speaking of Ludacris, my hot take is that Ludacris wouldn't have a career today if he didn't grandfather himself into that damn Fast and Furious franchise when he did, because he basically was in like, what was it, Fast and Furious 2 or something, or 3? Which one did he jump in on? But it was basically the movie that came out when he hit with Move Bitch Get Out the Way, and he had that one big album. And so yeah, he's kind of grandfathered. What else does Ludacris do besides those movies like every other year, right?
Fucking make dank records like Chicken and Beer.
Okay. That wasn't that the classic one?
That's the classic one. Amazing.
That's what I'm saying. You think he'd still be doing that? No, I mean, like he got lucky by getting himself in that franchise when he was hot, and he's lucky it took off like it did, especially because what else would he be fucking doing?
I like how you called him Ludacris. Like his first name's Luda, his last name's Chris. You think that's what the fucking doctor says when he goes to the doctor's office? Like, Mr. Chris?
I don't know why I said. Well, his first name's Chris. But
fucking genius.
I'm doing Luda, Chris. You know that last name, first name.
Chris Luda.
Chris Luda.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So this chick, this is the main character and his like love interest. They work at this little fucking butcher shop, and he seems to be like into her, but like he doesn't make the move. It's one of those movies. So like later on in the movie, she has to be the one to make the move, and they make jokes about it.
Okay, I bet they're not funny.
Not really.
Gotcha.
But like he's got that motorized scooter. She asked him if he wanted to ride. He said no. What a beta. You get like, not only do I want to ride, I'm going to ride you. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're going to drive me around town, if you know what I mean.
No, nobody would ever say no in this situation. And it's wintertime.
Exactly.
It's stupid. Hey, so as of this recording, it is December the 12th, man. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas, which I'm not sure anybody's really doing too much for, but you know, now they have that vaccine out there. So I don't know. I wonder how fast the world's going to go back to normal, man.
That's the thing. The people are going to they're going to bust their nut to go back to normal. That's why I don't think the fucking cinemas are dying, because people are going to be so ready to just go back to normal. They're going to be using any excuse they can to leave the fucking house. As soon as they find out, like, oh yeah, it's really over. Like, no mask, none of that shit.
Nah, the theaters have been open the whole time. And like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, no one's forcing anybody to stay out of the theaters.
They haven't been open the whole time.
They've been open almost the whole time. And they just
maybe in like a stupid state like yours, but not mine.
They just sell them half, capacity. I mean, and I'm telling you, I've been a few times and nobody's going. I mean, they totally can. Nothing's stopping them. I don't know. I think the theaters are forever going to be changed. But who knows? Maybe this is all getting stopped just in the nick of time before all this shit with HBO and like the HBO Warner Brothers thing, it does become the norm. Because now that we have sorry, my bad. That's the word that gets us taken off YouTube. So maybe bleep that out. I don't know what it is.
They don't take it off YouTube. They just don't give us fucking ads.
So no revenue. So when they hear that word, I guess they're just it triggers it triggers the bots because they think it's like a fake news thing, and they just want to like get rid of all the fake news, like propaganda, Michael Bauer like podcasts, and shit like that, like spreading that shit.
Things that make you go, They're trying to fucking stifle things that make you go, They're fucking always on. The Illuminati's really on fucking Bauer's case.
Look, Ace, okay, I'll get back to the original point, but speaking of Bauer, so this guy, he announced, okay, I'm thinking about doing a podcast.
Oh, amazing.
And he's like, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. He's like, but I don't really know much about it yet. He's like, but here's the thing. If I do a podcast, I want to know how much you guys would pay for that because, it's like work and I got to get paid for my work. And I'm like, man, talk about not putting in the work. People like us or anybody else, we grind it out. You build your audience. And I get it. He's like, you guys are my real friends. And yes, I consider you all Facebookers my real friends.
Your real friends don't got to pay you to entertain them.
Yeah. And I get it. Like quote unquote celebrities start podcasts and they out of the gate have, advertisers and things like that just because they have a built-in audience.
We're probably more celebrities than he is at this point.
But I'm saying like, I get it. They kind of used most of those guys like your Ice-T's and shit like that use their celebrity for instant ads and instant network access and shit like that. But Michael Bauer, I mean, maybe he shouldn't be any different if he has a few fans out there. But dude, man, he's pretty much really put it out there that he's really Joe Everyman. And in fact, he's doing worse than any one of us on every level. And my heart goes out to him. But like, my God, I mean, just put in the work, man. It makes him really come off petty when I look at his shit. The stuff he's trying. Remember when he was like, how would you guys like to do? Anybody want to do an interview with me? Of course, it's going to cost you $50 for 15 minutes. Like, dude, what the fuck? First of all, I don't think it works like that. I think you get solicited for the interview, then maybe come at.
Wouldn't that be great if I was so into my craft as a troll that I fucking just like totally became his like podcast buddy, his co-host, and like fucking entertained his stupid conspiracy theories, even threw my own out. Like fucking, I had a dank idea for one the other day. Like, okay, get this, Donald Trump, he fucking. Right, I'm gonna have to play that out. He died from the COVID, and it's been what's that guy that plays him on fucking SNL? It's been him playing him ever since.
Baldwin.
Of course, he looks better now because the fucking government's got better prosthetics.
Okay.
Just think of it. Daddy Trump would have never lost an election, so it has to be true.
Oh man. Well, so he part of me, it's really tempting to reach out to him, message him, and just be like, hey man. So we have our podcast. If you really are serious about starting a podcast, how about you come on one of our shows and, and do a little promo and we'll just have a chat and we'll talk.
I don't want to fucking talk to him.
I don't want to talk to him either, to be honest with you. He doesn't really seem, I mean, I feel like if I talk to him, I would feel like I'm exploiting him because I really don't jive with the stuff he talks about. And he's kind of a pity party, right? So it's like, I don't know what it would be. But like I'm saying, hypothetically, if I did that, I have a feeling he would be like, how much are you going to pay me? I'm like, bro, like Zach said, I think we honestly have a bigger audience than you at this point.
And we get nothing.
You know what I mean?
We're nobodies and we're more celebrity than you are.
I mean, who is he?
Exactly.
Just because he was on a show 30 years ago.
He's on Salute Your Shorts in fucking the 90s. Everybody loves that show.
And he had a couple of bit roles, in movies here and there. Whatever, he's a working actor. That's no different than a working banker or a working custodian or a working whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, you are a working actor. You're going to have to work to get on our podcast. You're going to have to work that nut out. I'm going to fuck you while we record.
Well, I mean, I wish I could just give him some advice. Like, hey, man, you have to give a little to get a little. You have to promote. You can't sit there and just charge.
Give a little head to get a little fucking airtime.
You can't just charge everybody. Like, sometimes you have to do promotion. You have to, I mean, like, what? And then, of course, now he jumps on every little bandwagon that happens online. Like now he's doing the podcast thing and he's already talking about starting a Patreon first. And he doesn't like, what? And he doesn't really know how it works. And he's like, of course. And if anybody, I'm all now on the cameos. If anybody want the shout out for Christmas, I'm like, I don't know.
Amazing.
I don't want to shit on people's attempt to make money. So maybe, but whatever. I guess he's struggling like a lot of people.
Here, this is the main character's grandpa, and he's like an eccentric kind of fucking weirdo. He's the guy that tells him about like, oh, the old fucking, origin of fucking Saint Nick and how he was really a fucking demon and all this shit. He's like, he's got this panic room for like when the world ends, and like he makes like all these weird gadgets which are fucking already completely obsolete. Like, oh yeah, I'm making a portable record player that you can strap to your back on a backpack and have headphones on. Like, yeah, that makes sense when we already have the fucking Walkman and all that shit. Yeah.
Why is it always somebody's crusty old grandpa that gives them all the exposition? Isn't that like Troll 2 shit and like Peter Falk and all that stuff? And
oh, dude, is this the Weasel?
Pauly Shore? That's what I was saying. That's like
amazing. Hey, buddy. Don't hit me with that candy cane. I'm
Dude, it really does. And that there's no way that's by coincidence. They're like, yeah, we're totally tapping into a Weasel type with their outfit.
This was 2003. Nobody remembered Pauly Shore at this point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. You picked him up by the dick.
Hopefully.
That's what it looked like.
He just throws him in a fucking trash can.
Do you think we could get Pauly Shore on the show?
Maybe.
I think it's possible.
How much you gonna pay?
You know, Pauly Shore be worth it, man. I'm tempted. I don't really have any interest in doing guests or whatever, but that'd be fun. Like, what if we could get Pauly Shore on to do a film he's done? You know, like a film of his. I don't think we could do a commentary. I mean, I think that's a tall order to ask anybody to sit with us for 90 minutes.
That's what I used to say.
I know. I kind of like the idea, though, that we kicked around that one time. If we do it as like one-offs, just get him for an interview segment, even if it's 15 or 20 minutes, and we pair that with a commentary, right? Like on the bookends or something.
Oh, yeah. Here's another quick trivia. The old book that explains the origins of Santa Claus is written in Icelandic. Some believe that parts of the Santa mythos are taken from Norse legends. Donk.
I think I've heard that, yeah.
Norse. You know what's funny? Like, there was no point when somebody came out and just admitted, like, yeah, fucking, Norse mythology, the other mythologies. What's the one? Fucking Medusa.
Greek.
Yeah, we just made it up. At some point, we had to just assume it was all fake. Like, nobody came out and said, like, yeah, we made it up. Like, there's no way you get all these people over thousands of years to just all admit it.
Hey, speaking of Norse mythology, doesn't it feel like there's an exorbitant amount of fucking that in video games lately in media? Aren't you kind of tired of Vikings and Valhalla shit? Right? It doesn't seem like everybody's doing it.
Yeah, the new God of War, they switched to Norse mythology.
Well, and then what's the new one called? So there's the new Assassin's Creed, which is like Valhalla or something. And there's I can't remember. And then there's the new God of War Valhalla or something that's coming out. They're both similar names. Or Ragnarok. Isn't one of them like Ragnarok or something? One's like Valhalla. One's like Ragnarok. And then there's that Viking. I think the story of the Assassin's Creed is the exact same plot and arc they're telling on that show Vikings that's on TV right now. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's just overkill. It's just like, we get it. I mean, Vikings are cool and all that stuff, and Norse mythology is cool, but it just seems like it's super popular. And you would think some of these AAA game studios would kind of dig around and find out what other people are working on and be like, yeah, let's not do that.
Fucking betas. They take something that they think sells and they run it into the fucking ground.
I do that last God of War. I loved God of War. Like, as far as the original 3, I played the fuck out of those. I love God of War 3 especially, and 2 was really fucking good. But I couldn't get into this PS4 one.
I can never play it again. I finished it and I was just like, yeah, okay. It's like a blockbuster movie. It's like I watched it once and it's gone.
I'm just kind of tired of these holding hands like type games, and maybe I didn't give it enough time because I didn't give it a great amount of time. I probably put a couple hours into it.
It seemed like a long interactive cutscene.
Yeah, it wasn't grabbing me, and I was finding it really annoying. It's like you and the boy are talking, and you're kind of getting led where to go. It's kind of linear like that, and yeah, and then followed by a sequence where you have to kill a bunch of baddies on screen, and then it kind of like cutscene leading. You know what I mean? If rinse repeat. And
it just felt like everything was scripted. Yeah.
I didn't like it. And I know the original God of Wars aren't exactly open world or anything, but it seemed like it was more puzzle. Like I was more free to roam the area I was in and just figure out where to go.
Yeah, there's parts on that first God of War that they would never put in a fucking video game now. Like fucking like that part where like you gotta climb out of hell and you gotta climb up that fucking thing that's rotating with the spikes and just one little nick on your fucking leg and you'll fucking fall down after restart. They never fucking do that. I remember getting so pissed off playing that, but I kept going because it's like, what the fuck else am I gonna do? I'm a kid. I can't go get pussy. So of course I'm gonna play this fucking game and keep fucking falling down and getting pissed. Amazing.
I remember I played the first two back to back, and I, was obsessed with the first one, so I went right into the second one. And the first one, I think it only took like 8 hours, 7 hours to clear. So I expected more of the same with the second one. And I think I hit like 18, 19 hours, and the second one was still going. Like, what the fuck? It was like so much longer. But
see, I remember loving the first one, and this 2 and 3 just never like made it to that like same like greatness I thought of the first one.
I thought they were all equally good for whatever reason, and I think the third one's great. I haven't played that PS4 remaster of it that they put out like early in the PS4 cycle, but I kind of want to go back to it. But I don't know.
This is the funniest line in the movie. Listen real quick.
Right.
You got me a gun? Amazing. You got me a gun? I mean, I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but are you fucking retarded?
Is that what he said?
She took it away, and then as she opened it up, it's a fucking transformer. Amazing.
I didn't hear him say the R word part. But no.
You've got beta ears, that's why.
So, no, what is it with this thing? So everybody jerked off God of War. It was everybody's game of the year. I think it won big game of the year at the fucking Game Awards or whatever. It's become this thing where as long as like everything is super cinematic and it looks gorgeous and the music is all fucking orchestrated, it equates to great. Like it doesn't matter if it's like all holding your hand. I mean,
It doesn't matter if going back and playing through the game and trying to skip all the cutscenes mean you're fucking like actually means that you're skipping like I hate those games that like they load while the cutscenes are going, so you can't skip the cutscenes. That's the fucking worst. I hate that shit.
Like I said, I mean, it's technically all like Dave Thomas is in this.
Yeah, he's playing the preacher that's getting them all to give their money on the collection plate. And then afterwards, he's going to go buy some hookers.
Oh, cool.
Or he's going to go spend it at the fucking titty bar. It's pretty
Heck
donk.
yeah, man. Heck yeah. I'm not knocking it because it's still interactive experiences, and I guess it's just what's popular now. So it is what it is, and it's still a game, I guess. It constitutes that. But I just don't understand the things that value what makes a great game. Like I think playability. Like I want something, graphics and budget and stuff trump gameplay these days. I don't understand, but it's like The Last of Us. I've never played The Last of Us, and I don't really care to be honest with you. And everybody was jerking off Last of Us 2, but it seems like a God of War type game where it's just a big movie you're playing.
Yeah, I thought Last of Us was just fine. Like it was nothing. Like I remember I think it made like actually the first time playing through it, I think I did like it a lot. And there was like a part that genuinely like kind of was a tearjerker. Like I was like, oh, the fucking video game's never like been this emotional. But like, yeah, it's like going back and playing it again. It's just like I'm just fucking waiting to play like little set pieces that don't really add up to much. Like, yeah, like you only get what you're supposed to out of a first playthrough, and it's never really meant to go back and play through, it seems like.
And to be fair, there's movies like that too, and movies you can rewatch. But I mean, and I understand that there is actual gameplay in Last of Us, and I guess God of War too, because like I said, but obviously there's games that are even worse where they're basically just interactive movies, and every now and again they give you a active time event, like you have to press a bunch of just to make sure you're engaged. Those are the fucking worst. Like I get it, I'm here. I'm not falling asleep yet to your movie.
Boobies!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Fucking Santa Claus looking at the tits. And there's the fucking preacher putting that fucking money in the G-string. Donk. He's spraying his fucking cummies all over these fake tits.
Damn.
As you do.
As you do.
Here's another fun fact. Santa Claus is venerated as a saint by several Christian denominations as Saint Nicholas. Ironically, Bill Goldberg, who portrays Santa, is an observant Jew, even going as far as famously refusing to work on the Jewish high holiday during his football and wrestling days.
Well,
fucking Goldberg, he's a part of that Jewish cabal, the crazy people are always saying run the entire universe.
How about that? I ain't never. Do strip clubs like that exist outside of Vegas where all the chicks are like perfect 10s with huge fucking knockers like that?
Of course.
Try going to a strip club in your hometown, Zach. You know, and see what the chicks look like.
There's no strip club in my hometown.
Okay, you'll be lucky if they had all their teeth, if there was.
Fucking my hometown is garbage.
Yeah.
Bunch of pussies.
Didn't you have a house like right across the street from you that was like all white supremacists with like fucking burning crosses and shit?
That was like down the street a little bit. That's like a block from where my sister lives.
Okay.
They had a Nazi fucking flag in the, and that's like a crack den. That's like a, like fucking like a bunch of like weird like fucking random people there. Yeah, it was fucking it was one of those places that like it's a like it only costs as much as your income is, like it's income based or whatever. And yeah, like I remember like going past, there was this black dude that was walking down the street and he was taking a picture of the house with the fucking Nazi symbol. And I was like, yeah, I know, it's fucked up. And then like a couple weeks later, I remember I was walking by it and it fucking had that window was smashed out. So somebody probably walked by and threw a rock at it.
So, and you have one of those towns where I'm sure it takes like 5 minutes to get to your sister's house, right? Everything's so close and compact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's something nice about that sometimes. I mean,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
What are you going back to games and shit? What have you been playing lately?
I got Cyberpunk. I just started it though. I'm like 1 or 2 missions in. I was making my character and I'm like, fucking yeah, I'm gonna create the main character from fucking Deus Ex, the Atom. I'm gonna create him. And then I get to the part where I realize, holy shit, you actually can customize the genitals. I kind of want to make a hot chick with huge tits and a fat ass cock now. But I decided not to. I'll do that in my second playthrough if I get there. But yeah, I got the Atom, and I saw like you can get a fucking uncircumcised dick or a circumcised dick. Donk, very inclusive.
Yeah, which is
but only one vagina. You can't get like an extra meaty vagina. You can't.
Can you do
like,
a dick and a vagina?
Sadly, no.
Okay, I thought maybe that you could do like a hermaph.
That'd be donk.
Hey, so. Obviously, it's very controversial. I've been hearing everything. I've been hearing all the bullshit. Like, basically, the only way to play it right now is on a PC. The rest of it's all kind of gimped and held back and needing updates and shit, especially the older the tech you're on. But I'm butthurt about it because everything about that game feels like it was made for me. Like, I love those types of worlds. I like sci-fi. I like the whole dystopian, the futuristic neo-noir bullshit. I like old games like Flashback, those old DOS games like that. I like Total Recall. I love, I like the world of Blade Runner and shit like that. So it's like, I want an open world game like that. So why'd they go and fuck it up and ruin it by making it first person? Why?
I guess you can play it in third person. I've heard.
How?
I don't know. That's what I've heard.
I've yet to see that. I don't think you can. If you could, I'd be all about it. Well, once it got tweaked, but I don't get it, man. I don't know why it has to be first person. I don't feel like, why do they think it has to be first person for them to feel the player gets immersed into it? I don't need it to be first person to feel like I'm in the role. Like I can act, and if they're touting this create a person and create an avatar feature they have going on, why can't we see it in third person? Like, do you ever fucking see it?
That always gets me. Yeah, like, oh, you're customizable, and then like you never see yourself. Amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, Dark Souls does it better. I mean, like I've been going back and playing Dark Souls 3, which I love the From Software games. And yeah, you could do a lot with your create a character in Dark Souls, and it's third person. and I have fun with it. And it actually,
check it out. This is a great invention from his grandpa. He's got this thing you put a book on, and then you hit a button, and then a little arm comes and turns the page.
yeah, that's pointless.
It is. His grandpa's a fucking idiot. He should have fucking done himself a favor and just like killed his grandpa while he was sleeping. Put him out of his misery.
And I know the grandpa from somewhere, and I can't quite.
This is great. This little flashback is like animated like the old fucking
Family Home Entertainment, like Rudolph and
exactly
all that shit.
This is telling the story of the fucking bet they made.
I kind of want to watch those this year.
Fucking lame. You're such a child.
You know what's funny is a lot of those really, they don't hold up, but they still give the nostalgic feels when I see it, when I watch fucking Rudolph.
I've never watched one of those all the way through, except for when we did one on our commentary.
Yeah, Rudolph, I haven't seen all of them. I've seen Rudolph a bajillion times. I've seen Frosty a bajillion times. I've seen Santa Claus Coming to Town probably the most, and that one's probably my favorite. Mickey Rooney as Santa and the origin stories of him, and that one's pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. And Charlie Brown, you know, I was tempted to. I've always been tempted to own the Charlie Brown holiday specials, but they always want way too fucking much money. They always keep putting them on nicer, most current formats. I'm like, do we really need Charlie Brown's Christmas special on 4K? Like, how good is this going to look? Like, why? And why are you guys charging $20 for it? Yeah, for like a fucking TV special.
Mm-hmm.
Look at those effects.
Amazing. Tommy Tiny Lister Jr. was named Tiny at the end of this movie. I just fucking ruined it. Tiny Lister Jr. is in this movie. He's got a cameo.
R.I.P. Is that why we decided to do this officially?
No, I just noticed while I was watching it, he did die like a day ago or 2 days ago.
I think they announced him, yeah, he was dead yesterday, and Debo died, and somebody posted...
He's kind of playing a character that might be Debo in this, because he says something like, oh yeah, I had to leave the hood because of too much crime.
Well, like and he very much embraced the Debo character. I think even on his like socials and official stuff, he was like Tiny Lister, aka Debo, like, you know, where they completely own the character they're known for. Like, yeah,
see, he
Debo.
was just waiting for fucking Ice Cube to make a fourth movie. See, I forgot the third movie existed. Like
there
most
you go,
people.
as you should. Well, and now you got Brother Jones, his dad is passed, John Witherspoon, and now Debo's passed, and yeah, it's never gonna happen.
There's no point in making it now.
No, and everybody's just too old. It's just done. But yeah, I watched. I went on Debo because I followed Tiny Lister on Instagram before he passed.
Let me finish this though, real quick. Tiny Lister Jr. He's at the end of the movie, but he got his name apparently from this trivia. It says he got his tiny nickname from this movie, and he's credited only as gas attendant at the end of the movie.
So this movie's in 2002, so it's a bit older than I thought. Because like if you watch the credits of Friday and shit, he's Tommy Lister, right?
Yeah,
is his name Tommy?
Something like that.
Okay, really? I guess it feels like he's always been Tiny Lister Jr., but I guess it could have started here, right?
Wonder if it was Goldberg that gave it to him.
I don't know, but he
You ever do this? You ever be going out causing havoc around Christmas, like smashing all the fucking statue heads off of the baby Jesus and shit?
No.
That's fun. I'm just joking. I've never done that, but this is kind of funny. These kids are like, can we open up these fucking presents and shit? And they're like clearly older than they should be.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, okay. So fucking dumb.
Amazing.
I was on Tiny Lister's Instagram page, and literally like he posted an interview he did with somebody, like he was doing a live while he was doing the interview, and it was just like a day before he died, maybe 2 days, and he was clearly very sick. He had his mask on and shit, and his voice was really weak, and but he wasn't acting like anything was wrong with him. I don't know have they announced what he died from, because I wonder if he had the Rona, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he was just talking about the new year and, you know, the shit getting over with, and he just wanted to get back to work, and he had given his life to God, and he was kind of devoting his life to all that stuff.
Beta. No, I'm joking.
Well, I mean, the first time I realized that, you know, I was passing through the channels at like my grandma's house, and he was on TBN, and I went back, Trinity Broadcast Network, and he was like, I gave my heart to Jesus, and he's like scary still. He was Devo when he was like talking about the gospel, but
amazing.
And we could have met him. He did one of the Crypticons, maybe like the year before we went to that last one.
Dog. Yeah, I don't know. Wonder what he died from.
Yeah, who knows? He was only 62, but...
Oh, this is a fun fact. The name of this movie was named after the end movie within a movie scene from Ernest Saves Christmas.
I know. Christmas Sleigh. It was called Christmas Sleigh, right?
They didn't fucking go all the way with it, betas.
I hold on. I think I was thinking about that, and I almost brought that up at the start of the show, and I kind of forgot. But let me just double check if it was Santa Sleigh or Christmas Sleigh. I don't know why I was thinking. I'm gonna look it up. Ernest. No, I knew there had to have been some correlation there. Let me see. Santa's Sleigh. I'm just gonna make sure.
The town they live in, by the way, is called Hell Township. So it's like a play on the when hell freezes over, and then like at the end of the movie, he says he'll go to the endless depths of hell to find, the relative of fucking that guy that made the bet with him and fucked up his life. And it's like, oh, get it, hell.
Yeah.
Genius.
I feel like the last movie we do should be Ernest Christmas.
Dog.
And just knock it out. I mean, so just to kind of give you guys...
I thought it was going to be the Santa Claus. I already got that ready.
Oh, wait, Tim Allen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that rocks too. I kind of... Every time I think we've already kind of picked the biggies, there's another biggie we didn't do.
There he is. Yo, Craig.
What's up?
You see someone coming? Whistle.
Whistle.
Whistle. I would fuck this man. Yeah, he's basically like he's working at this gas station, babe. And then
He must have escaped from prison again.
Got that smoking gum. That's that good shit.
This is after next Friday, so I guess he escaped after he got apprehended in the backyard of the Jokers. Milk duds, too shiny milk duds.
Amazing.
Did we ever do next Friday or Friday commentaries?
We haven't.
Didn't we do Friday after next though?
Isn't that funny? Like, we're at the point now, like, every time, like, a holiday comes up, I kind of hate it, because it's like, oh, this podcast becomes work, because we're just doing movies that fucking go with the holiday, and it's not like, oh, we're doing a movie that we genuinely want to talk about. But, like, yeah, we still haven't done fucking movies like that we could actually genuinely talk about.
Well, on your note of the Santa Claus, I genuinely like the Santa Claus. I think it's a good. Do you not like that movie?
Elves with Attitude.
It's a fun movie. It's a fun.
I haven't watched it in a long time. See, when I think of the Santa Claus, I remember the fucking sequels more than the original.
The sequels are not good. Granted, they get progressively worse, but none of them are good. The first one is kind of a holiday classic, though, and it's funny because I watch it now. I watched it, I think, last year, and it's a little dated. It starts to show its mid-90s threads kind of loose, but it's a classic, man. So I could do that. We could do Ernest. It's whatever you want to do. I like them fine in both. Those are not bad movies. I'm surprised we haven't done the Ernest one yet. But anyway, so I know we got that last commentary, and we're gonna do Cinema Enema, which Zach has chosen to do like a Thing retrospective.
Exactly.
So,
see, I kind of kicked myself because I was thinking like, because I remembered earlier, I was like, oh man, I wanted to do fucking Eyes Wide Shut, because Aaron's never seen it.
We could throw a curveball.
It technically takes place on Christmas.
We could throw him a curveball and do it.
Well, we already told fucking our boy William. And
could throw him a curveball too. Be like, hey, guess what? I know you came here prepared with all these notes on the Thing. Guess what? No, we're not doing that.
No, we'll go ahead and do it. I could just do fucking that for my next. See, it would have made more sense to do Eyes Wide Shut, and then like, because it'll still be winter by the next time I have a pick, we could have done it. But whatever, it works.
And it doesn't even have to be Christmas related. You could literally do that in January or February, like you said. It's whatever. And I had I was thinking about my next cinema anime choice. I'm like, you know what? Because I think maybe I'll take the approach that you give me. You throw movies at me that you know I would probably not get around to watching myself. You know, stuff like Ken Park and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I might make you watch an anime movie.
Beta.
Well, and so my whole thing with that is I've never been an anime guy, but I've started watching sort of these gateway drug anime movies.
You gotta watch out for that. Apparently, according to data, people who are into anime are more likely to be into child.
No, well, so
you can't argue statistics.
Yeah. Well, listen, no. So I've kind of gotten into.
This is kind of funny, though. I'm joking, by the way. This is kind of funny, though, because we talked over the part because the deputy's name is Dick Zucker. And like there was this whole play on words where he was talking about like, oh yeah, how do you feel about cock? Basically, there's a new fucking their old sheriff was named Balls or something, and their new one's Cock. And he's like, oh yeah, I bet you like cock more than balls, right? Or something like that. And like he was just responding to him like unaware of the double entendre. And he's like, I bet that cock can really ride your ass though, huh? We talked over it though.
That's kind of funny though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I would have had to have heard the discourse and going back and forth, but it could be done witty.
Mm-hmm. It's not, but it's still like fucking haha poop humor kind of funny.
When I'm talking about this anime, Zach, though, I to people that actually like anime, I probably come off like a poser because it's the equivalent of someone trying to get into heavy metal and they're like, oh yeah, man, the Black Album or something, or Back in Black, AC/DC, you know what I mean? And they're just picking the most vanilla records that everybody owns, you know, that's even somewhat into the genre. So that's kind of me with these anime movies. I'm just kind of getting into these gateway drugs, and it's the movies that they've kind of blown out of the niche anime world, and they've, you know, gotten international appeal and respect and stuff. So I'm talking about like Ghost in the Shell, Akira, and the Studio Ghibli movies, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, those are like the Coke and Pepsi of anybody that likes anime. But I mean, they are what they are for a reason. And I'm thinking about choosing one of those, man. So I watched Ghost in the Shell, and I'm not going to talk about it just in case I choose it. But
I've been wanting to watch that. I saw it was on Prime.
I might do it. Like I'm talking about the original anime, not the Scarlett Johansson one.
I know. You know what's funny is that movie's been on my watch list since I was like fucking 12 or 13, because like fucking I was watching remember Tech TV before it was G4.
Uh-huh.
And like before fucking Morgan Webb was on fucking X-Play, she was on Screensavers, and she recommended it. And I was like, fucking Morgan Webb, she's a babe. I gotta fucking watch. She was all into the fucking, she made it sound donk. I gotta watch that. And I just never fucking got to it.
Well, I'm learning to not pigeonhole all anime movies into like this stereotype of what I think an anime is, because believe me, there's anime, which is like your stereotypical.
Yeah, but when I think of anime for a while, you tend to think about the most popular kind of thing, like fucking Pokemon, where they're fucking their mouths are like fucking huge and shit. Well, they're doing that stupid shit.
The stereotypical anime to me is like, you know, they have certain style. The girls are holding out their two fingers, going ah, ha, 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 and it's all really kind of girly and frou-frou, and that's bullshit. But I'm learning now to really differentiate movies that are anime and movies that are real cinema that just happen to be Japanese animated. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And all these movies I'm talking about, like all the Ghibli movies, they're real movies, man. Like they could have been live action and had like $500 million thrown into them, but they can do so much this cool shit because it's animated, and it's just, Ghost in the Shell. Don't look at it as an anime. It is a science fiction movie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that they just, and Akira's the same way. And fucking Omega was saying, because I was talking about that in my video I posted for Patreon. He was like, you know, you should also check out Ninja Scroll, because he was saying, yeah, those are like the gateway drugs. He's like, they're great. He was saying Ghost in the Shell.
I remember Mac had a tape of Ninja Scroll recorded. I started watching it. I remember there was like, yeah, I don't remember much, but I remember like anime titties bouncing around. It's pretty dog.
Well, he was saying, yeah, he's like Ghost in the Shell, Akira, and the Ghibli stuff. Those are like the common gateway drugs. Because like, you should watch Ninja Scroll too, because that's the other one.
I don't think I finished it though.
I look at all those, like, I've been looking at those lists, like, you know, people compile the greatest lists of greatest anime titles, and you know, Ghost in the Shell, Akira, the Ghibli, you know, some of the bigger Ghibli movies. they're kind of the usual suspects that round out like the top 5. You know, they're kind of all on the top of every list. So it's just those types of movies. But I'm kind of into Ghost in the Shell hard. I kind of want to explore the rest of them because I know they made some sequels. I don't know if they're canon or not, but I might choose that. And I watched Akira when I was a kid, but I can't say I remember it enough to where I think I'm going to revisit that. So I'm going to watch I'm going to watch Akira. I'm going to watch Ninja Scroll, and I'm going to pick one of those. And I might choose between one of the biggest Ghibli movies too, and maybe throw that at you and kind of make you watch one of those. But they're definitely talking point flicks. It's not like, oh, a bunch of schoolgirls that look like they're 5 getting fucked by squids. It's not that fucking bullshit. And guys that look like girls and stuff. So yeah, they got like tits and violence and shit. It's pretty cool.
Fucking amazing. The Japanese, just all the guys look like girls in Japan, I've noticed.
And there's something weird about watching the English dubs on a lot of stuff because on a lot of movies, they always sound wooden.
Amazing.
It's because they're all.
I always like watching fucking the English dubs because I think that adds to some of the fucking dankness of like Godzilla movies and shit like that.
Well, and honestly, I know here's the difference too. The real purist anime people, like those hardcore, they want to watch the original. They want to watch stuff in Japanese. And to be fair, I bet you everything is designed for the Japanese language and their nuances, and it probably all sounds way better. You know what I mean? The way everything's going.
That's why you got to watch it. You got to watch it with Aspie Vision.
But when I see stuff with the American dubs, it just brings back nostalgia for me because before anime really exploded here in the late 90s, I would watch Sci-Fi Channel and stuff late at night in like the early 90s, and they would have some of that adult anime like Vampire Hunter D, and they would show like Akira and shit like that. And it was I don't know, I always remember it with like the weird dubbing, so it's just what it reminds me of. So
amazing.
But then Dragon Ball Z Toonami is probably what caused the explosion, right? Because Toonami became huge in the late 90s and early 2000s, and Dragon Ball Z just became fucking huge.
I could never get into that shit.
Nah, man, I couldn't either. But I grew to appreciate the artist who designed it because I became obsessed with the Dragon Quest games. And the same guy who did all the art and character design for Dragon Ball did Dragon Quest. So when I play those games now, they're just so gorgeous and like it's all hand-drawn animations and stuff. So now when I see Dragon Ball, it kind of makes me want to watch some of it just because it reminds me of Dragon Quest. I don't know.
You got to watch the original Japanese version that had the racist character.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for the American version, they changed like a completely black character to like purple to get rid of the racist fucking overtones he had in the original.
Oh, yeah, I know the guy. He's got the big red lips and he's fat.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, he looks like one of those old 1940s cartoons in America. Or they're eating the water. Yeah, and I think in the Japanese cuts on some of the old Dragon Ball stuff is like there's tits. I think one of the main chicks, like you can see her titties or something. Because the Japanese, it seems like they were always like that, man. Like they had a lot of gratuitous. They had more in common with like B horror movies than I would think, because they would have just like random tit shots that really don't make any sense to anything.
They got cum brain. They were ready to fuck they're ready to fuck you as soon as you turn 13 over there.
Like that Street Fighter 2 animated movie. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Okay, so I seen that in the 90s, and I just remember it because it had. I don't think they had it in Japan. A lot of times when that stuff gets brought over to the States, sometimes they update the score, and a lot of times they update the soundtrack to reflect American audiences. So the American version, at least of Street Fighter 2, it's got like Rooster, Alice in Chains, and when the credits roll, it's "Are you ready?" and they do corn and shit. It was so
amazing.
I have a hard time believing that was in the Japanese version. But anyway, dude, Blind was the coolest shit when you were a kid. It really was. It was. It got me pumped.
That's not Blind, you fucking noob. That's fucking Are You Ready? That's the first track on the first album.
Yeah, that's Blind.
That's not Blind, is it?
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
He goes, "Are you ready?"
I'm the fucking corn noob then.
Yeah. Place inside my mind, a place I like to hide. Do you know the pain? What if I should die? You know the I'm so blind. Yeah, it's blind.
I can see, I'm going blind. I can see. Does he say I can see or I can't see?
He's supposed to be saying I can't see, but the way he's like enunciating, he's saying I can't see. I can see, I can see. It's not really coming across as the...
They technically both work.
Yeah, I don't know, but how did you not know that was blind? You thought there was a song called Are You Ready?
I was thinking the fucking the clown. I was thinking that like blind. That's that fucking single.
Clown was a single too.
I don't think blind was a single, was it?
Oh, yeah, I don't think Blind was ever technically a single. I don't know. I think Blind had a video. Blind had a video. That's the one that I think Blind had a video too. I guess I'm not sure, but Clown they definitely had that video for.
It's just a fuck you with the...
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, on the Street Fighter 2 animated movie, for example, there was a scene where they just showed Chun-Li getting out of the shower and she had huge bouncing tits and she just had to answer a phone. Like,
Amazing.
Okay. It was like, you know, and you just saw her soaping up her tits, I think.
Did she put the phone receiver between her tits and fucking shake it?
No, but she was in the shower and she was soaping up her tits, and it was just like, you know, it gave me straight up B movie slasher vibes where you just have to have the chick in the shower for some reason with her tits.
Amazing. I'm not like fucking. That's really weird to like want to fuck a cartoon. Like, yeah, there are people that watch the animated porn and they fucking jack off to that. Why?
I don't understand it. It's just and you know, I've seen pictures and I've seen fucking footage of that shit. And I'm like, I don't get it because
remember that movie Cool World with fucking Brad Pitt and all about wanting to fuck a cartoon character? That was donk.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. I mean, because, yeah, I can't distance myself from that. I see that. I see, like, the naked anime chicks or whatever, and I'm like, you know, these tits were just drawn by some fucking horny cum-brain fucking artist nerd, dude.
Probably me at, like, 9 years old.
Oh, I used to draw naked people when I was a kid.
Mine were, like, stick figures and had big boobs.
Yeah.
I remember one time I took Max, his fucking notebook and, like... fucking like I don't know 7th or 8th grade and look through it, and he was drawing like girls from his class and like they were just kind of stick figures, and he put their names above them, and then he put him as a stick figure having sex with them, and they'd be saying, "Oh fuck me, fuck me." Oh, I gotta cut that out. I doxed him. Fuck me, Mac. I mean,
I used to do fanfic like comic books. And I remember I did a Mortal Kombat one, and they'd fight and stuff, and I didn't even really know the context to finish him, but yet I was still implementing it, so it's kind of clever. But of course, you know, when it came to the finishing moves, they like Katana would finish Liu Kang, and then amazing. or like yeah, the Liu Kang would fuck Katana or something like that. Or I think I had one where Baraka was fucking Melina. I think I probably had one where Melina was fucking Katana. I don't know, but it was just like weird, and I remember one time. I drew some original fucking like little comic shorts, whatever, and I think somebody in my family found it, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
When you said that, like somebody fucking katana, I pictured like somebody taking their dick and actually fucking a katana, like a sword, like the blade of it.
Yeah.
And it just immediately cuts his dick in half. That would be fucking donk. Somebody should do that in a movie.
Why wait for a movie? Why wait for Hollywood to greenlight that? You can do that anytime.
Exactly. Like the other day, I was like, I wonder what it'd look like if someone just took their boner and took like a fucking 9mm pistol and just shot it.
Oh.
Like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I guess I could find out. And it's like, wait, you'd probably never be able to use it again. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah. And we never know what kind of unstable folks are listening to this show. Don't fucking do that bullshit. Don't blow your cock off.
I'll blow your cock off. It's the latest fad.
Don't slice your cock open. Don't do it.
It makes a man out of you.
But, man, I kind of hurt my throat a little bit doing the Are You Readies and the corn shit.
That's why you hurt your throat. He's not going to tell you that we're actually together and what really hurt his throat. But here's another fun fact for the movie. Robert Culp had also previously appeared in another Christmas horror film, Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, Better Watch Out. from 89. That movie came out the year I was born. What a fucking travesty that movie is. Fucking our boy, Chop Top Mosley walking around with a fishbowl on his head. Amazing.
Never seen it.
Yeah, it's basically he's playing the same character from the second movie. They reanimate him, and he's got his brain exposed. He's got a fucking bowl over his head, and you can see his brain, and he's fucking walking around. It's so shitty. Like, yeah, it's garbage. I watched it one time. I barely remember any of it.
Yeah, no thanks.
Fucking AIDS. Which reminds me, we never talked about that fucking dank ass thumbnail I came up with, Santa Claus with muscles.
Yeah, okay. So I got to stop you there. I was a little bit in the middle with it. I'm like, man, part of me's like, damn, we should probably not put that on YouTube because I feel like someone's gonna flag it. But at the same time, but hold on, the other part of me won. It was too clever and funny. I'm like, nah, we'll just let it fly because it was funny.
It is a movie with AIDS, so we might as well just show it.
You were able to find that font?
I did, yes. I found one close enough.
Close enough? That's funny.
Amazing.
Would we get in trouble if we marketed our own shirts with the cover and it said movie with AIDS?
I don't know. I don't know why anybody would buy it because it's a movie with AIDS.
And the movie's not big enough to where anybody would get the context. Exactly. Like, we don't get it. You're a movie with AIDS and you have Hulk Hogan on your shirt. I don't get it.
Are we implying that the movie has AIDS or the cast is AIDS? I don't know.
I don't know.
Both.
But that movie was a real travesty. Speaking of travesties, that movie was terrible.
Fucking amazing film.
This movie's actually quite a bit better, man. I mean, it's not a great movie or anything, but it's actually, it moves. It doesn't, Santa with muscles. It was boring to look at because it didn't really change the scenery much. It was a lot of drab it just seemed like a lot of samey shit.
And we had a VHS rip, which didn't make it look any better. So it wasn't in widescreen and shit. It had that fucking box, fucking picture and shit. Fucking beta. Which is weird because some movies shoot a movie in that fucking ratio as an artistic choice. They want to make it seem claustrophobic. The Lighthouse does that. There's a movie called Mama or Mommy where fucking the whole movie's about this kid that's got serious problems fucking acting out and all this shit, and his mom she feels like she's being held hostage in her own home and shit, and then the whole movie shot not even in the square aspect ratio. It's not the normal square. It's a perfect square, so it's even more smushed. And then a scene later wherever things start looking up, oh shit, we're gonna get a new place and the world's at our fucking fingertips. It becomes a widescreen movie, and then it all falls apart and it becomes a fucking square again. Amazing. Amazing.
Gotcha.
They're making a statement.
Yeah. Hey, other movie news. It kind of goes hand in hand with all the video game talk we were doing earlier. What do you think about that Oscar Isaac playing Solid Snake? It's bullshit, right? Weird.
Yeah, we talked about that on the last commentary.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
I've been thinking about that stuff still. I've been thinking about all the video game adaptations. Isn't it funny how they still keep trying? They never quite get any respect. And I guess the Resident Evil movies is what keeps people trying because those made bank or they were profitable, right? But yeah. they keep trying to make video game adaptations.
Fucking the video game industry is the biggest industry now. So yeah, they want that fucking that gamer dollar.
And they're eventually it's gonna really take. But yeah, Resident Evil was profitable. So I hear is the Monster Hunter movie out? I think it got banned from China because they made a Chinese joke.
Oh, they didn't just cut that one joke and sell it to China anyway?
They released it in China with the joke.
Oh, yeah, well, they should have done the fucking Disney and just fucking cut the gay character out of the final version so they can show in China.
And I'm not sure what it was, but I did read it, and I can't remember. I already forgot what it was because it was really lame, and it was really weird that they got offended at it. But it was one of those, Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these type of things with doing the eyes.
That's fucking pinnacle comedy right there.
Not exactly that, but it was one of those types of things, and I'm like, it is kind of funny, though, that they knowing China's being the biggest market or the second biggest market. But why are they so offended, man? You think there's people all the time that go see movies in their own country and they make fun of people with special needs. They make fun of people with of this color. And there's people that go see that movie. You know what I mean?
We're always laughing at the other. Don't laugh at ourselves. That makes us fucking reflect on shit.
And who knows if it's really the people that are offended? It's just probably more so the government, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The government totally sucks, you motherfucker. That effect was amazing.
There's a thing in Asia and China, and I think especially Korea, it's popular, but it's just like in Mexico, where if you watch Telemundo or you watch all the Mexican stuff on TV and the movie stars, they're all very whitewashy. You know, they all are on the more Spanish lineage, right? So they have more Caucasian features, lighter skin, lighter hair, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just like any other country where I don't know where this like thing came from, Americans being like racist, because it's everywhere. It happens in everybody's individual countries too, right? There's like this untouchable status, and they always go to the Philippines. Anybody that's
Isn't
like
Japanese basically an ethno state? Japan.
What is?
I think it's really hard to like fucking migrate there. They just want a bunch of Japanese people only there.
So Japan, in my opinion, was different than China. China was, everybody was pretty samey. They don't. There's not a lot of melting. There's no melting pot there. Everybody's like a similar height. They all got the same hair, same color hair. They all look the same. That fucking, ooh, look, it's Jackie Chan. Oh, look, it's Jackie Chan. That whole bit. I mean, I don't mean to see it sounds bigoted or anything, but like it's kind of true. And you can't say that's bigoted because just think about genetics. You know, it's going to be true where they all look very similar. And
well,
but
if it's an ethno state, they don't want fucking these other people coming in fucking looking like different people.
Like they all look very, very similar. And go to Japan though, and it's different, dude. People look very different. Like people have different skin tones, slightly variance in hair, and that's because they've always had a bit of an open door policy. There's a lot of like Americans and Europeans and stuff that travel there on business. There's a lot of like African people there. You know, it seems like when I went there, Africans come over there and they give them all the bouncer jobs, man. If you go to like the nightclub districts and shit, all the bouncers are like they came right off.
Are you talking about Japan or China?
Japan.
I thought Japan was an ethno state.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's tons of fucking people in Japan, all types of people.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different country.
China's hardcore. China is like, you know, I it felt like that scene in Lost in Translation where you see Bill Murray walking through the streets and he's like shoulders above everybody.
Amazing.
I felt like that in China. But in China. Oh,
China. See, look, here's where they reveal that the kid's fucking grandpa is actually the guy that he made the bet with. He's been fucking, he's an angel. He got to live fucking all this time waiting for him to come looking for him.
What a twist.
What a twist. Fucking M. Night Shyamalan wrote this movie. Which reminds me, I was thinking the other day, if fucking 2020 was a fucking movie, M. Night Shyamalan directed that shit. Like at the end of the fucking year, like M. Night's gonna pop out and be like, yeah, this has all been part of my movie. It's been scripted. There's a camera there. There's a camera over there. There's a camera there. Like he's gonna do the Ashton Kutcher, like you just got punked bullshit. We're gonna be looking around like, oh, you got us. It's like fucking, yeah, we Truman showed the fuck out of the U.S. for a whole year.
I'm barely listening to him do this monologue, read that letter, and his voice he's doing.
Amazing.
No, but isn't it funny though? I mean, come on, man. I'm not trying to wear a tinfoil hat here with all that bullshit, but speaking of 2020, I mean, isn't it funny that, you know, who could have predicted that pretty much the day after the election was more or less decided, right? Then they announced, oh, the Pfizer people have a vaccine that's waiting. It's submitted for approval. It's 90% effective. And then just a couple of weeks after, it's 95% effective and the FDA approves it. I mean, come on. Wasn't everybody saying like, yeah, as soon as the election's done, watch. All the tinfoil hat people were saying there will be suddenly a vaccine.
That's not what they were saying. They were saying as soon as the election is done, they wouldn't even talk about it anymore. It would just disappear.
No, nobody fucking said. That is
what they were.
No,
they totally were.
Who was saying that? I was saying I know that. Watch, there will be a fucking vaccine fucking ASAP as soon as all the political bullshit's over.
Well, technically, they had to fucking basically get rid of all the regular, because usually we fucking test shit for like 2 years to make sure it's not gonna make it grow another fucking limb or something.
Yeah.
So basically, they're making it less safe for us to fucking do it.
Yeah, well, and you have all these people that aren't exactly wanting to be first in line to take it. I don't want to. It is kind of weird. I know they had that whole, what is it, Project Warp Speed. Like, we want to get it fast. We want to get it by the end of the year. But you're right. This stuff like this usually takes a long time. So it makes you really suspicious. Like, man, I'm not going to fucking take that. People are afraid of mandatory. I don't think we're there yet where people are going to mandatory take it. I guess they could force people to take it if they want to use certain services, which might make it feel like it's mandatory, right? Like, well, you can't get on this plane unless you've taken it.
You know what I was thinking? I found this out recently. That those people that think fucking vaccinations cause autism.
Uh-huh.
Like one thing that you're required to do if you enter the military is take vaccines, like all of them. Like, you can't be one of those fucking weirdos that are like, oh no, I'm not taking vaccine. You got to. So technically, they should be going around arguing that there's a big level of autism amongst our troops. I don't think they'd like to do that. I don't think they'd want to be that guy that wants to come out and say that.
Well, and like I said, people that talk about like imposing certain vaccinations and stuff on people being a violation of freedoms. Yeah, it's no different. Like, you don't have to join the military. We don't have the fucking draft anymore. So it's fair game if they're like, okay, if you want to join, you have to play by our rules and get vaccinations. It's kind of like if you want to go to a lot of countries in Africa, they make you get shots. They will not give you a visa, right? You can't enter unless you've gotten your vaccinations. So I don't know. It is what it is, but chestnut, what? He nutted on his chest?
Amazing.
Oh, is that what he's weak against? Chestnut, like a silver bullet?
It hit him in his chest.
Oh, okay.
Amazing writing.
Oh man. But yeah, anyway, whatever. I at least 2020, 2021 hopefully will now get back to normal. I mean, because that gives me hope. That gives me hope that by the middle of the year, everything will be phased out enough to where maybe we will actually have concerts again and shit.
See, remember, like, all these bands would say, like, man, I really love going overseas because they don't get it as much and they always go fucking ballistic. Maybe this is what we needed. Maybe whenever the concerts come back, we'll be fucking, we'll make concerts great again.
Well, I mean, who knows what it's going to look like this year? Because I mean, I listen to a lot of musician-centric podcasts and hosted by musicians and stuff, and they're all like, "Look, everybody in the world is getting placeholders, right? Everybody with the idea that everything's going to get canceled again in 21, but you have to put your name in the hat, and it's hard to book anything because as soon as the stuff is done, everybody and their mom's going to want to tour and recoup funds because nobody's been making money. And like, for example, like if you Josta's podcast, he's like, try get a show anywhere. We'll call them up and try and book something for 2021. And we're like 13th on the call list, the wait list, you know? So you're going to have everybody trying to tour, which is funny because that might not exactly be, that might blow up in somebody's face, right? Because when you can't
see, if I was president, I wouldn't have been a cuck. I would have bailed out all the fucking musicians. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna have mandatory. Everybody's gonna be wearing all these fucking band merch. You mandatory fucking. We're bailing them out. We're getting all this merch. Fucking everybody wear a fucking Converge shirt. Fucking all these shirts. It's gonna be donk. That's why you want to vote for me.
Why can't he leave his grandpa? Can't cross.
He's fucking, he died. Now he's an angel again. He's got to go.
Oh,
he's
so
out.
His grandkids are like half angels?
Amazing.
Because he begat like, I don't know.
He's fucking angel cum. Does that mean Goldberg's fucking kids would be demon semen?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think if everybody's like trying to rush out the tour, there might be an oversaturation and people might be willing and ready to go out and have fun, but like for how long? And then also, what if people just don't have the funds and there's too many tours competing with each other, right? Because
exactly.
It's just the facts, man. I mean, especially in a bigger city like in Phoenix or even worse in LA or in New York, you literally have, even on a normal night in New York or something like that, you could have multiple shows during the peak season that you have to choose one. Right, that are cool stuff going on. I mean, like, what if you had all these options and it's like people can't go to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it makes you wonder though, because like, on the vaccine thing, like the vaccines only work if enough people take it, and like, no, there's like a lot of people that are like, I don't fucking know yet. This is fucking is a little too early. So yeah,
Well,
we probably still will have it for another year.
they're using the sick and elderly people at like old folks homes as the guinea pigs. You know, they're older and they're probably in their golden years anyway. So it's like, whatever, we'll take it. What do we have to lose? But they're giving it to nurses and people like that, people who work in medical, and they're giving it to the elderly homes. And then after that, they're going to give it to necessary workers, you know, people at your grocery stores, and just regular old people, right? Just because they're high risk for being old. And then it's just going to kind of move down the ladder in the chain.
Once it's all over, I'm gonna be shooting bodily fluids everywhere. Like, you don't gotta worry anymore. Now it's all fucking good. Fucking spray your cum, spray your spit. It's gonna be we're gonna be dousing each other in saliva. I'm excited.
Yeah, you would think if they were hardcore serious about getting rid of it, maybe they will. Okay, I know we're pumping out these vaccines ASAP. Like, literally, as of this recording, it was approved yesterday by the FDA, and I think the first 60 million are getting shipped out Monday, right? They're getting sent. So they're going fast on it. But like, you would think even after they send out vaccines, they would want to like, okay, guys, we're gonna lock down for a month after we got the vaccines out there, lock down, just fucking to make sure it's eradicated. Or are they going to send out all these vaccines and just have people be willy-nilly and go out? I don't know. Are they still going to implement all this shit?
We're going to end up fucking like, not only am I not going to listen to it being locked down for a month, I ain't taking the vaccine. Fuck you. My body, my choice.
Fuck you. I'm fed up with you.
Exactly. I ain't as good as you. Fuck no, I'm better than you.
Exactly.
Is that fucking who I think it is?
Oh, that's not him, Shermanator?
That's what I thought.
It looks like him, but it's not him. He's kind of got his vibe, but it's not him.
Fucking a great actor from a great film.
Freckle-faced cartoon. No, actually, sure, he is deaf.
Angus is amazing. Why haven't we done Angus?
I don't know. It's weird. It's got my boy George C. Scott.
I would fuck him.
Grandpa.
It's like fucking heartbreaking when he dies in that movie. That scene where he goes to his buddy and they're playing chess and he's just sitting there with an empty seat. Amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. I wonder if his heart died a little bit when he signed on to do that movie. Like I was Patton, for God's sakes.
Why would it? That's an amazing film.
I was in Exorcist 3 for God. She's kind of like a low rent Patricia Arquette / Claire Danes.
Dog.
No, Angus we should do eventually sometime, and then
Do you know that over 50% of the running time was cut out of Angus?
Yeah? Why?
I don't know.
Drag down the movie?
It was more of a coming of age fucking drama. Like, and they thought like, oh, this will be better if we market it as a comedy and shit.
Maybe they shed more light and spent more time on like the female character because the whole thing of her being like anorexic and shit is a little, I don't know, it kind of comes out of nowhere, I guess.
Yeah, that was just there to tell you that like even the people you think have nothing to worry about,
they have problems too.
Hang-ups, yeah.
But I felt like maybe there could have been more of that and that they cut it. I don't know.
I think it was mostly like there was a bunch of stuff about like Angus's, like his parents, like basically Angus from the beginning was never meant to be because like, oh, his mom was gay and his dad was gay. His mom was a lesbian, his dad was gay. They were basically friends who had sex under the pretense that like, we both think we're gay, but like, we'll go ahead and have sex just to see like if there's anything between us. And she got pregnant. So like from the beginning, it's like he was just never belonged anywhere, which is kind of clever. And like, there was, I guess Weezer wrote a song for the soundtrack where they mention like, it's written as if it's told from Angus's point of view. And it mentions like, oh, mom is gay and stuff like that. And everybody was like, why, what is this? What's this about? And nobody knew that was actually in the movie originally.
So all that, I was about to say, I don't remember any of that. So that was hypothetically in an extended version.
See, we need fucking Criterion to get Angus. Because we know Warner Brothers, whoever it is that owns like fucking all the New Line Cinema shit, they don't fucking care. They ain't gonna put it out. But I'm pretty sure like if fucking like Criterion wants your movie, they basically just get full dibs. Like, we'll give you whatever you want if you want to put our movie out. We need that fucking unearthed director's cut, fucking 3 hours long. Fucking commentary with the entire cast. See, it seems like they're supposed to be playing credits over this.
Yeah.
But they just forgot to put them. Amazing.
Yeah, isn't that really weird? Why are they just dragging out the runtime?
Probably.
Yeah,
It's
because
only an hour and 16 minutes.
yeah, because the credits will be running right now, and they'd be over by like an hour 20. So yeah, they're gonna run this shit.
Look, you can see that he kind of reversed there to extend the shot a little bit.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. Everybody does this. Yeah, I mean the movie was like an hour and 10 minutes without all the shit.
Like without fucking credits here, it just looks like are we just seeing like the reactions to seeing the finished product? Like this is them after they saw the movie. They just have dumb, bewildered look on their face.
Yeah, exactly, right? Then it's like, no, we're gonna save the credits for the black. We gotta extend out the fucking, when you have too much good shit. It's like Rush Hour movies, right? They play the bloopers and stuff. Were those even bloopers? They weren't even bloopers.
I think there was like one in there of fucking Goldberg, and there's some throughout here.
Oh, here's a blooper. Look.
It's a bleeper of a blooper, though.
Well, now they're doing the bloopers? What?
Yeah, they just abruptly stopped. They did a naughty and nice list for the characters in the movie. Fucking Santa's naughty.
So, yeah, they're going to interrupt the credits to show, like,
to
bloopers.
extend the running time, yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, I don't have any time for that.
It does it multiple times, yeah.
Yeah, I bet
the credits stop.
So this movie was probably 70 minutes if it's lucky. Ridiculous, man.
Yeah, and what's funny is while watching it, I noticed it was starting to like run its course about fucking an hour into it. So I was like, yeah, this is wrapping up, right? And then it's like, oh, it's got 20 more minutes.
Yeah, this is stupid. Yeah, no, speaking of freckle-faced cartoon, Major Payne, dude, fucking Damon Wayans is doing stand-up here the week of Christmas. And I was tempted. I'm like, oh, man, I'm dying to get out and go somewhere. And, like, I ain't got nothing to do that week, and I'm off that week. And he's fucking charging, like, $50 per ticket, and there's, like, a 2-drink minimum at the club, and I don't even drink. And I'm like, man, that's fucking way too much money, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spend, like, fucking $150 by the time it's all said and done to see something. But I would like to see a comedy show right now. It'd be fun. And also, I'm pretty sure because it's the times, like, usually when you go to, like, a comedy club, usually it's pretty easy to meet. Like, you can kind of go up and shake hands, and he'll it's very, very chill atmosphere because it's a small club. And usually they'll just be kind of hanging out after the show, and everybody can just kind of approach him and chat, say something nice and whatever, get something signed. I doubt you can even do any of that shit either right now. But I want to see Major Payne. That's too bad. One thing that's totally unrelated to any of this, you mentioned earlier, and I kept meaning to go back to it and ask you. You mentioned Deus Ex. Are those games good? Because one of those like games is on sale really cheap on the PSN right now, and I kind of thought about getting it.
Those games are the fucking shit.
What kind of games are they exactly? Like, what
They're
are
first person though?
Are they all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, then fuck that.
Beta.
I didn't know that.
Here's another fun fact. I'll go ahead because this one's Bill Goldberg met Wanda Farrington on the set of this movie. They married several months afterwards. Fucking this movie's bringing people together.
That's interesting, man.
Amazing.
But anyway, yeah. Movie not. I've had worse times watching movies for a commentary, but we did technically talk about other movies. We talked about Angus. We talked about Ernest Scared Stupid. We talked about Santa Claus. We talked about video games. A lot of shit that wasn't this movie. I mean, how much really is there to talk about?
Yeah, it's a fucking movie where Goldberg plays a Santa Claus and he goes around fucking killing people. But I mean, he's kind of cartoony killing people though.
Well, I'll tell you, next go around, if we're doing the Santa Claus, I've seen that movie so many fucking times. I can definitely talk my head off about that movie and all the scenes going on there. Yeah. Do we want to promote anything? What else is going on? I mentioned, we got another commentary, I think, and we got Cinema Enema. Are we talking about Patreon? Do we have we started the Ash vs. Evil Dead as of this time up there? Or
Episode 2's up. we're doing an episode of Movie Graveyard soon with our boy The Goat.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
doing fucking
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way. And me and Mac, we just did the For Everybody episode for Christmas. He picked the fucking scary Jack Frost movie. And then fucking we're gonna do the for Patreon episode for the month. We donk.
And you don't know what that is yet?
He picked the fucking Michael Keaton's
Damn.
Jack Frost movie.
Okay. All right, so yeah, that's a good way. So Patreon, if you guys are interested in supporting us any extra, we are on Patreon, and we started pumping that thing full of steroids. So not only are you getting just all the normal episodes and stuff 3 days early, Mac and Zach are doing a exclusive episode like you just heard every month. And Zach and I are tackling the entire series of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and he just said that we now have the first episode we did for everybody, so you can access that.
Our boy Kalunga joined the Patreon.
Yeah, Gio Kalunga, man, thanks for supporting us. We really appreciate that. We're definitely indebted to you guys, and we're definitely curious to hear you guys' feedback and all this bonus content and the Ash vs. Evil Dead stuff too, because that's going to be a lot of fun, and we're happy to do it. I'm stoked to be able to say we're going to have a whole series of fucking shows that are just for you guys. So yeah, those are going to start spilling out. So episode 2 is up now for Ash vs. Evil Dead. That is exclusive to Patreon. I know Riverman's been posting a bunch of pickup videos of shit he got. I posted like an hour-long fucking video of all the pickups.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah, talk about it. I'm gonna open it up. So I'll preface it. I recorded a video. I was gonna do a pickups video myself because Riverman sort of inspired me, because I had bought in some stuff for a lot of movies, 4K stuff for Black Friday and shit. And it was meant to just be like a 10-minute, 15-minute video, and I went on and on a little bit more in depth about every title. So I ended up talking for an hour. The video is legit an hour long, and Zach fucking messages me. Take it away.
First I watched it. I noticed I clicked on it while I'm in the creator app of the not the normal YouTube app, but the creator app,
the producer app, or whatever.
Producer app, and then I noticed the thumbnail looks fine, but then once I click on it, it looks overexposed. And I thought he must have got like a DSLR and he just didn't know how to set it up. And so I razzed him about it. I was like, you fucking boomer. And I sent a screenshot of him just dumbfoundedly looking straight into the camera, and it's all white, washed out.
Like a ghost faced. Yeah.
And then he didn't say anything. So later on, I happen to think about it again, and then I get the idea for the dankest meme. I say, I post the picture again of him just staring blankly with the white face, overexposed, and I saw this young man with this blank, emotionless face, and the lowest IQ, the devil's IQ. And I'm just patting myself on the back. I'm thinking, man, you gotta pat yourself on the back, Zach. Man, that was the dankest fucking meme you've ever made. Oh, an after credits scene. But I'm like, that was the dankest fucking meme ever. And then they start sending me back messages. They're like, this isn't what it looks like on my version. And I'm like, what? And so they're like, yeah, Zach, he's lying. He jokingly made it look bad to make me look bad. What a douche. And so I'm like, this is what it looks like on my end of it. So I screen captured me opening it up and watching it.
And I took it and I sent him the screenshot of the exact same timestamp he was on. I'm like, no, look, this is what it looks like on mine at this same spot. I'm making the same derpy face. It's fine.
And then basically, long story short, they're like, you fucking do, your setup's all shitty. And then and I look it up and it's like, correction, your setup's all shitty. It's your phone. And so there's this problem, I guess, with the new iPhone.
Apparently it's not the phone, or it's not your setup. It's the apps, I heard.
Yeah,
and I heard Instagram's the biggest perpetrator. It's the way they're not accepting HDR, because you said yeah, you're right. I checked it. The HDR was auto-enabled.
Yeah, basically HDR is auto-enabled, and that's a feature that basically makes it so that it takes 3 different versions of the same video at different fucking aperture or whatever. exposure settings and then puts them all together to make one image. But like whenever you're uploading it to like fucking YouTube, like whatever it was, like YouTube was just showing one version, one fucking like setting, so that like the version I was seeing was like the version for the background, so like everything in the foreground was all washed out. And yeah, fucking, so anybody who watched that, if it looked like he was overexposed, that's why.
Well, and it's funny because the fact that Zach gave me no credit, like I didn't watch it first before uploading it and say, oh God, this looks like shit. Like, no, not only did I watched it myself before uploading it, but after uploading it, I watched it on my phone, on my iPhone, looked fine. I watched it on my...
Well, at first I assumed it was whatever you used to edit it. I'm like, what did you use to edit this?
I didn't edit. Yeah, he kept saying like I overexposed and I was like putting film. Like, no, I swear to God, like I have a light and everything. It's just light. I just have a light on me and it looked fine. There's no editing on it. So I was insulted by that too. Like, come on. Like, you only think I'd make myself look a little prettier, but if I was editing it. But no, after I posted it, I watched it on my phone again on YouTube. It looked fine. I watched it on my laptop on YouTube on a desktop. It was fine. And then I watched it.
He's saying it's fine, but technically, yeah, when I watched it on the desktop, it was overexposed, but it wasn't nearly as overexposed. It was just like, it was still like you could make out your facial features, but it was still like a little overexposed.
So I don't know if the problem is in... Because everybody, when I was reading the article Zach sent me, it seems like everybody was really going after Instagram, like because most people post shit to Instagram, so that's probably just getting the most traffic.
So yeah, I'm thinking it's probably just like they're up, like it's gonna roll out a couple updates, and like it'll probably be all fixed before too long for all the apps.
But I don't know if it's just like the apps, or if it's like, well, because if Zach was on YouTube, but he was using a different browser or app or device, Google versus iOS, I don't really know like where the deciding factor is that's causing his to look different than say mine or whatever. And I'm telling you, I watched mine on a phone on iOS. I watched it on my PC using a Chrome app, and I watched it on my TV on Samsung apps, and they all look fine.
Did you try opening it in the producer app?
No, let me look. I'll do it right now. Damn it.
That'd be funny if that's what it was.
Well, then if that's the case, who gives a fuck? But yeah, I'm curious. So obviously the only people that watched it were patrons.
See, I was, what's funny is after we found out the problem, I was like, man, I was kind of hoping you really just filmed the whole video overexposed so that we could sell a fucking blank emotionless face, lowest IQ t-shirt, because that's a dank ass meme.
So I'm watching it on the producer app and it looks totally fine. It looks...
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Well, something else that does bug me, by the way, is I filmed it in 4K, and when you upload shit to YouTube, it'll automatically like upload the lowest res first as it's processing, and it'll update it, as it's processing, right? Mm-hmm. And the YouTube video never went past 1080p, and it was filmed in 4K. It just stopped. So I don't know. So I noticed when I watched it on like my big 65-inch, it looked kind of a little blown out and blurred. I'm like, oh, that's like, why did it stop? Where's the 4K? So YouTube's fucking up a little bit there. But anyway, regardless, I'm curious, the folks that watched it on the Patreon, how did your version look? I'm very curious to know. Let us know. You can let us know here. You can shoot it over in the app. But
our boy Omega did comment on it, and he didn't mention that it looked overly fucking
he
white.
maybe just being nice. Like he didn't want to. Maybe he's like you. He's like, God, clearly he's mentally handicapped, and I don't want to bring it up. I'll just pat him on the head and say, good job. Let's
just watching it, thinking, I saw this young man with a blank emotionless face, the lowest IQ.
But if you can get around that, which I think it looks fine. I think it was just a one-off thing with Zach, but but the video itself was fun to do. I talked for an hour. I talked about all the movies I did, and I, kind of gave somewhat mini reviews on stuff. And but that's fun. I recently got the Total Recall 4K Steelbook. I pre-ordered that months ago, so I just picked it up yesterday. And Riverman did too. I don't know if Riverman was going to do one. I don't think he is, because I told him I was. But I'm going to do like a much shorter video after I watch that. I just want to talk about the actual product itself, and because it's a really cool fucking setup. It's a cool steelbook, and it's got one of those like translucent slips that go over it. It's really great art, and I'm going to watch the transfer and the features, and I'll kind of talk about it because that's one of my favorite flicks. So yeah, we'll see if I can make it not look low IQ. We'll
Amazing.
see. It'll look fine. But anyway, we got a whole bunch of shit like that. Are we not selling the Patreon good enough? We got low IQ, dummy fucking video footage on there. We got.
I'll post the meme I created so they know what I was seeing at least.
Post it on the Patreon because no one's going to get it on the main channel.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, what the fuck is this? But all right. But yeah, so yeah, you guys can support us there if you want. I mean, literally for the cost, less than a cup of just basic bitch black coffee at any coffee shop per month, you'll be doing us a huge solid, helping support the show and helping us do what we're doing now and producing more content and bonus content. And we're stoked that we're able to get around and do that shit. And I would like to keep doing it more. I mean, in a perfect world, we would make enough to be able to put way more time into just this and even have more free shows and just kind of, I would love it. So all that stuff is very much appreciated. Anybody that can't afford it, that's no big deal too, man. We're happy that you're on the channel and just listening to us and leaving comments when you guys do. That's awesome. And but if you guys could, make sure you guys are liking the video, like I said at the top of the show. That stuff, interactions, all interactions help with the YouTube algorithms. That's if you comment, if you like the video, if you dislike the video even, I mean, whatever. All that stuff is going to help us out a lot. So, and if, you know, it goes without saying, if you're a first timer or if you aren't a first timer and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you guys are stopping and taking a second to hit subscribe. And also, if you guys are listening to us on podcast feeds, it's the same stuff that applies over there. If you guys are Apple guys, Apple Podcast, just leave a 5-star rating. If you want to go the extra yard and fucking leave like just a nice little comment or review, do that. All that stuff takes 1 second to click 5 stars and it helps us out immensely. Same thing with Google Play, same thing with Stitcher. I don't know if Spotify really has a system for that, but just make sure you're following us on Spotify. I think maybe that's probably the best thing. But yeah, man. And apparently we do get Spotify love because I think it was Gio, our newest patron, that said, you know, we showed up on his, Spotify year end, right? That goes out everywhere. Everybody's trending and posting their Spotify most.
Oh, yeah.
And he says we were his #1 podcast on his Spotify year end with, it was a shit ton. Like, I think he listened to, was it like 60 shows, 60 something shows?
Oh, yeah.
If you think about that, a year's only 365 days. That's a lot of podcasts. You know, we ate up a huge percentage of his podcast real estate and we can't thank him enough. So, and once again, thank you for supporting us. And thanks to Brian, thanks to Mendoza, man. You guys are all fucking great. And let's keep extending the family and growing it. And we're getting ready for it. Come January, I like the idea of doing the Jean-Claude Van Damme January, but basically after we get done with the holidays, we'll be more receptive of doing more requests and shit like that. But I'm trying to think, did we forget anything else? Oh, if we're not being shills as it is, Teespring, if you guys are into supporting us and getting something tangible with it as well, we have a Teespring. You guys can buy Cinema Enema Design shirts, BTM shirts, Mac and Zach shirts, straight up Revival House Support the Whole Network shirts. We got something for everybody. Great stocking stuffers. Not that you would get it in time for Christmas now, but late Christmas gift, right? But anyway, that's pretty much all we got. Zach, do you want to close off with any comments?
Be excellent to each other.
Oh, absolutely. Be excellent to each other, and bye-bye puppets, and we'll catch you guys next week.
End of the week at the Revival House. Next month's theme, you gotta figure it out. Italian zombies or Pauly Shore, a slasher with a knife and the girl next door, and 1 second in, get it all queued up and ready, hit play in 3, 2, 1. Bye bye puppets, Zach Pete and a solo cut band. Couldn't miss Cameron's love and Josh and Scott failed and Riverman's bail. Bye bye puppets. Sounds good, like this country used to.